Thank you very, very much. Sorry for the delay. Welcome everyone to the first private business meeting of the University Philosophical Society's 341st session, the very first session of 2026. I'd like to call on our registrar, Eleni Changuch, to read the minutes of last month's private business meeting here.
Welcome back, or welcome front, whichever way you like. Whatever keeps you coming. You guys are dirty-minded there. But really, a very warm welcome back to college and to the Phil, especially those of you who are here for the first time. You Phil virgins, we are delighted to have you, and hopefully you do come back. This week we had some exciting stuff on. Intro to Becky's kicked off. It's a 6-week competition for first-time debaters happening weekly. You can sign up by email or on Instagram. You'll be getting new motions every week, and it's a great way to get more involved and practice your debating skills. You can all become master debaters. Sorry, should I say that? Sorry. Oh my God. Master debaters, I meant. But okay, so we're off to a great start there. We're off to a great start. But not everyone can finish. But don't worry, these debaters tonight, they have 7 minutes, and your Reg Fionn assured me that's more than enough time. But I've never tried myself, so I wouldn't know. Tomorrow is Carlsberg Cup. Everyone should come to that, happening from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's the Phil's internal comedy debating competition. There'll be some great comedy motions, but nothing as gay as tonight's motion. It'll be a relaxed setting with good vibes and good times. And debate trainings are on every week, and you can find more information on that in the weekly email or on the Instagram. We've got a fierce lineup of guests joining us over the next few months. Earlier today we had Brittany Broski. Yeah. Is it woo? What is it? Okay, I won't do that now, but she's an authentic voice in discourse, sometimes politically correct, using humor to engage with darker topics in our society. We can all learn a thing or two from her. And next week we've got Nadia Konikova, a founder of the feminist group Pussy Riot. She's an artist, musician, and political activist from Russia who uses different artistic forms in her work, performances, and activism. Right after this debate, we've got GM Bar. Yeah. It's 80s themed, without AIDS this time. Sorry, Liam, is that all right for the political correctness? It's going to be groovy and funky and fresh. We're gonna get down and pump up the jam. Do you want to have some fun? I just want to have some fun. Come on, Eileen. I know you want to have some fun. Oh, sorry, your name is not Eileen? I apologize. Roxanne! You don't have to put on the red light. Really, you don't have to put on the red light. This is a safe space. It's going to be a night of sexual healing. Cue Marvin Gaye, you know? Let's get it on, Marvin Gaye. Let's get it on. I know you all got soul, so we're gonna bring the noise. Diana Ross, you know her? She said, "I'm coming out," and so are we, especially after this debate. And tonight we're considering the question: is political correctness gay? I am not gay, despite the many allegations. Sorry, ladies. Despite what I'm wearing. At least not now. Not today. Not yet. And I am a woman, if you couldn't tell. You know, these days it's hard. We don't want to assume anyone's gender. I even use she, her pronouns, but I asked the... Fionn, did you write this? I asked the prostitute to use they, them when they were slapping me around, just so I couldn't be gender affirmed. Liam, are we still doing okay for the I don't know. All right, tonight we are all stepping out of the closet together and stepping into the muddy waters of discourse. Enjoy the debate and be wary of the splash zone. Shinee, shinee.
There are no fines.
Secretary, are there any motions on notice?
There is one motion on notice from our debates convener, Ada.
Hi everyone! Once again, flagging Carlsberg. If you enjoy what we're going to hear today and you want more comedy, come tomorrow for our comedy debating competition. We're going to have almost equally as fun emotions. There are going to be prizes, there are going to be free pizza. You can sign up in the link in the debating group chat, which you can find when you are going to the TCD Phil debating Instagram. And there are also going to be prizes and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope to see, maybe not all of you, I'm not prepared for this many people, but a lot of you tomorrow.
The time for questions is now open.
Madam Secretary, are there any motions not on notice?
There are no motions not on notice.
The time for questions is now closed.
That brings us to general business. Are there any business from our members? There being none, I call this private business meeting to a close and call on our secretary to bring the speakers to tonight's debate here. Registrar Fionn Graham to read the minutes of last week's public business.
So Fáilte Rómha Ash, after an incredibly eventful Christmas, ICE, like brown shirt citizen army, arrest and detain without warrants. Donald Trump was flirting with ending NATO, and as teams in the New World Order are being recessed, it really is reassuring that the largest debating society in the country is gathered to ask the really important questions. We will be discussing tonight, is political correctness... Can I say that?
Yeah, you can say it.
There might be some, there's definitely some here. I don't know about that. Is that okay? I've never said it in front of them.
Oh, come on, everyone says it.
I've only said it alone, like, if I have to, if it comes up in a song or something. To debate a topic as important as this tonight, guys, the film normally wants good representation amongst its members. For that reason, it was thought that we should bring in people who are incredibly homosexually active. Which is why I was surprised to be asked, because I'm not normally into debating. So to try and perfect this speech, I asked my gay friend to help me write some gay jokes. He said he'd give me a hand, just not in front of anyone. Anish Shikarja. So grab a kind to Íntaach and up for a debate that really tackles the great question that I know everyone here in this room is burning to have answered. Is political correctness gay? Aaron Taves Shaw, Le Huscult, which team? Pardon me. Aaron Taves Shaw, Eg Oscult Lahai, on chalk supporting the motion that political correctness is gay. We have from our debates convener team hailing from the gay pinnacle of the world, Texas, the one and only Gabe Schiebel. Please, thank you. Taresh on Forest Shaw. We have our pro steward, Hug Bulabus Ulvor to Teresa Askerbeck. August. Egduna Aaron Taves Shaw. We have the one and only LGBT rights officer of the Student Union, Amy Kennedy. Awesome Furin Ella. Opening for the opposition, we have Holly White. Thanks for specifying. She was the maidens finalist last year. Moshe the Hulle, Tor Bannacht D. Eglanunt is Butcher, our winner from last year's maidens competition. Hug Fáilte Rómha, Ferdia de Rossa Murphy. closing the debate as a whole, we have the president of the Udoma subcommittee and the Phil Stewart Fólse led a whole Riv Anthony Adawi. Folks, the world is changing, and this debate tonight is indeed crucial. The fall of democracy and the rise of technocrats is underway. Peter Thiel, gay. Sam Altman, gay. Tim Cook, gay. If you want to get anywhere in business, you've got to do some backdoor dealings. Varadkar, Norris, Graham Norton, the gay community has huge power in Irish society. The George has been described as the Maynard, the holy land of the gays. Running for mayor in Ireland, the first question you will be asked is, do you intend to visit the George? In politics, there are only three possible answers. Given the recent rise in hostility, I would go to the George. I believe the George has the right to exist, but I'll be focusing on working gays at home. Or, I was shot 5 times in a taxi on the way to the George. Not many people know that I was on the way to the George. Stop glazing me, Zoran. I'm like a Krispy Kreme over here. I have never taken money from Gay Pack. I never even met the guy. That's a niche one. Folks, Lishin, Tomage, ready for the debate to begin, and we cannot ask for a better group of speakers to join us tonight, okay? Tanavaz Akarja, and we will see you, hopefully, at the GM Bar tonight, okay? Thank you very much.
Welcome to University Philosophical Society. The motion that stands before the House tonight is this House believes political correctness is gay. Standing orders are as follows. Speeches are 7 minutes in length for all of our speakers. At the first and last minute of every speech, which will be signified by a bell, speeches and speakers will be open to points of information from speakers and our audience. We encourage engagements from all of our speakers at all of our debates. So if you hear anything that you like, you can shout hear, hear, or slay. Or if you hear anything you disagree with, you can shout shame. As always, we prioritise dignity and respect at all of our debates. And if you hear anything tonight that upsets you, please contact our SMC, Rossa Bolger. He's contactable at smc@tcphil.com. Alternatively, I'm reachable at president@tcphil.com. With that, I'd like to get our debate in order, and I call on Gabe Shai with the proposition to begin the debate. Here.
Did this thing get heavier? Emotion filled to brim, gay straight, light dim. If I put my dick in the ocean, would it shrivel or would it swim? A more equal society, my car dashing in. But if sleeping around with crazy men is gay, what would you call Kim K? If you take a long, hardened shit so much so that the shit feels like dick, does that make your homophobia ick? Pronouns in your bio, the newest trick. To make all feel welcome, I take a hit. All should feel, all should be kind, no matter who you lick. Umbilical cord, I choke. Politically correct, he jokes. A better world, throw me the ropes. Asbestos, the best is politically correct. Steve Jobs got rim jobbed. 9 lives, Charles Manson robbed. He's a straight man to his core, and now the earth is worse forevermore. Knock, knock, gay opens the door. One ideal is standing on the shore. It's me again. Political correctness's voice is sore. Joined by a common beauty they both implore, the two embrace the same once more. Reality as we know it is segments of truth mixed with perspective. However, some truths are still objective. Taking a Viagra at a petting zoo is a bad idea. Constellations are humans trying to make sense of the great vastness of space. Sea otters are necrophiliacs. These are facts, but not self-evident. So in this blurry fog of our world, there are oh so few things we can count on. Your ass will make you shit your meal. Using a metal G-string as braces does not work. And the comfortability of all mankind is of utmost importance. Mankind, kind man, Being politically correct and thoughtful is a dawn long overdue, a kind, loving, and considerate dawn. Can we think of one person who reflects these beautiful attributes? Will from Stranger Things echoes throughout the chamber. And for the people who decided to do something with their lives other than spend 20 precious hours watching his come out scene, Will's sexual orientation is men. Is this a mere poorly constructed coincidence or a deeply resounding metaphor? Metaphor who? Metaphor us. To see that in the ever-changing society, gay and political correctness go hand in hand, fluid throughout nature. Male giraffes spend 90% of their time with other males, making love harmoniously to each other whenever they like. Each mount leading to a flourishing society free from homophobic barriers that would hinder their ability to explore their slim, tall figures. A world of glorious freedom becomes their home, a truth humans were once accessible to. Ancient Greece, emperors using spas for the body and cunnilingus for the mind. Now all one can see are barriers placed by common day society. You can feed ducks, but ducks cannot feed you. You're free to try, but you can't try for free. You can have a hard time getting to your sun, but you cannot time your sun getting hard. Constraints of the mind holding back utopia for all. Instead, homophobia impairs expression. PC culture allows an exodus. To some, political correctness is like being the backman of a human centipede. Eating shit every time one opens their mouth. But peel back this onion a layer, and what do you get? A slightly smaller onion. Peel it again. And political correctness emerges as a bright arch, a new world which heralds individualism, incentivizes pronouns for clarity, expect fathers to take care of their kids. Finding Nemo, a story of a fish going through great depths for his kin, overlooking the reality that in nature, if the mother clownfish were to die, the father would transition to a female and fuck the son. Thanks to the ideals of political correction, we have an inspirational, family-friendly epic instead of a reenactment of Antony's childhood. Now it is clear to see being PC is actually like being the front man of a human centipede, breathing in the fresh air of good nature, dependent on a common comfortability in which boundaries are respected despite the inconsiderate and misguided sewed to your bottom. Bronze admiration, within this case, a terrible itch. Now the question remains, does this replicate itself within homosexuality? Well, in Australia, out of all the many marital homicides, only 2.1% are same-sex, meaning O.J. Simpson-type behaviors are relatively extinct within gay households, which should be replicated throughout all homes. Just ask my aunt, or at least you should have asked her before she talked back to her husband in 2018. Thermonuclear relativity. How does gravity affect neutron stars? Does reflection off the lake have a life of its own? If there is no video evidence of fornicating with a chicken, did it even happen at all? We cannot say because we do not know. But we can say A plus B equals C. Gay world being A, a politically correct one being B. And if the worlds are the same beautiful oasis, which is clearly true, we can confidently declare C. Thanks. Gay is politically correct, and vice versa. Now I understand the questions that might be raised about my private life after a politically correct argument for the motion political correctness is gay, but I can promise you all, I only get pegged by women. So I say we should all strive for a more welcoming world, and I also hope everyone took a little something about just how small we really are in this everlasting universe. Rub-a-dub-dub. Thanks.
I'd like to thank the speaker for their very fine speech. I call on Holly White to open the case for the opposition here.
Guys, did you hear that? Did you guys hear that? Oh, God, what was that? Raju! Yeah, that was me. I said the D word. Members of the council, I come to you today to oppose the motion, this House believes that political correctness is gay. When I first heard the motion, I was like, bruh, what do they mean? I mean, it's the Phil. Don't get me wrong, guys. Love you, praying hands emoji. But to be so real with you guys, I did not know what you meant by gay. Let's be honest, it's kind of an umbrella term for the whole community. But as I pondered, a quiet voice spoke, likely muffled by an infinite loop of the cameo I got for Christmas from Madison Corley. Thank you, Elena. I fought the noise and realized that repeatedly I was replacing gay with in the title with the idea of leftist beliefs. Let's get one thing straight. Pun. I want to make it absolutely clear that in my speech tonight, gay is beyond a political idea. Gay is a sexuality. It cannot be grouped into a party or an ideology. Whilst left-leaning political movements have supported the community markedly more throughout history, this does not mean that by proxy, political correctness is of a homosexual nature. We have seen time and time again how gayness exists at every point on the political spectrum. In terms of heads of state, the world has seen 7 be gay, 1 lesbian, and 1 bisexual. It's true, Serbia loves a baddie with a skinny boyfriend, and actually like 70% preference for women. To really understand this, I ask you to reconsider who political correctness really serves. The proposition neglects to see that political correctness in its current form honestly applies more to straight people than the gay community. I mean, really, the straight community can't get enough of it. And trust me, there's something for everyone. For some, it's a fantastic opportunity to practice the sacred art of virtue signaling. Give it up for virtue signaling! I've been told that when done correctly, this technique can bring about a sort of nirvana a white lady can only dream of. I've personally always longed for the sweet high a straight person gets after telling you, it's snow person, not snowman. To my straights in the audience who are slightly less of the accepting persuasion, you can go. No, I joke. No, even you can get use out of the political correctness. It's the butt of your jokes that make people look at each other in a way you can't quite read. They hated that, mama. Or it's the reply you make when you can't find anything actually valid to respond with in a heated conversation. What I mean to say is, political correctness seems to loom over straight people's lives, a burden to fill or reject as though one's life depends on it. And I'm here for it. God knows the community doesn't need more hoops to jump through. If political correctness was really in the interest of gay people, we would choose who gets cancelled based on the current state of the world. We see so much wrong, and yet people are out here stuck on pedantics. No, I say we make a change. All the straight girls dating wet wipes who they won't break up with even though they're so fucking ass, talking to one gives me 5 years closer to menopause. Cancelled! All the men who put their cold bare butts on gym equipment in the naked calendar, cancelled! Lord knows how many would be left in this audience. I joke. But truly, we can understand how straightness and political correctness orbit one another, and in turn, entirely miss the gay community. It's redundant to ignore the fact that a person can also exist between political correctness and non-political correctness. This motion brings up a nearly impossible concept, and I ask the audience to take a moment to consider the flaws of human behavior. Of course, we cannot ignore the fact that in the past, political correctness came about in a time to maintain respect and not just had the voices of the loudest, whitest, straightest men that dominated spaces and pushed a rhetoric of repressive beliefs. But within reason, we understand that political correctness imposes an expectation on people to pursue flawlessness or risk facing humiliation. This idea of moral perfection does not translate into the gay community. For a group of people escaping stigma, the acceptance of human flaws is critical to their identity. Take blue-collar babe RuPaul, the queen of drag herself, who in 2020 became involved in a fracking scandal on her Wyoming ranch. It would eventually turn out that mining rights were out of her hands, yet in 2025, she used fracking clips as visuals for her DJ set. Lit! RuPaul didn't run from scandal, she used it to her advantage, and today she remains a gay icon. Shock value and push for a reaction from the audience has long been a part of gay humor, and despite the extremity of RuP's actions, it's clear that to make a joke truly gaggy You must ignore the guidelines of political correctness. And what would the gay community be without its most scandalous members? America's far right. Hey! God, I mean, if you want to see glitz and glamour, they're your people. We've got Ron DeSantis stacking his cowgirl boots, and Caroline Leavitt serving absolutely nothing in a full beat. Horrendous context aside, I've wondered what it must have been like to see the Erica Kirk World Grief Tour in its full pyrotechnic Nicki Minaj glory. Of course, we're talking about some of the most pathetic personalities of America today. But if you squint your eyes, you might just think you're watching a really shit pageant. It's eye-catching. It's completely gay. I mean, they're telling us their pronouns are USA, for God's sake. Trump was DL trade with Baba! The US is giving the conservative pricks of the world a masterclass in high drag. And there is nothing politically correct about these people. From Roop to the Trump Brigade, if there's anything modern celebrities have shown us, it's that it's the gays, as much as everyone who commits the cardinal sin of being politically incorrect. In short, in the community, good and bad is welcome. Good and bad can and must exist, and therefore the staunch values of political correctness cannot. Yes, perfection is sought in some ways, but it would be such a shame if we were to reduce a beautiful, diverse group of people into a description that ignores the complexity it contains. Thank you for listening to my speech. I hope you enjoyed, and stay freaky.
Speakers for that very fine speech, and Colin Trees asked about to continue the debate here.
I don't know I'm going to follow Gabe, but I'm going to do my best, guys. I think we're all aware that the Phil gets a lot of allegations. We're kinky, we're a sex cult, we have undiscriminating orgies. And I just want to set the record straight. Here and now. None of that is remotely true because some of us still haven't signed the goddamn NDA. Fionn, I know you're scared, okay? But the butt plug clause really isn't as bad as you think it is. You have to breathe through it, okay? I mean, look at Verdia. After just a couple hours, he's already sitting. He's fine. You're okay, right? Yeah, exactly. He's okay. We also get gay a lot. And that's a tougher claim to dispel because it's true. A fair few of us are, in fact, gay. Not Olivia, although she says she's straight, but I do share a wall with her, and I can hear the snips, that's all I'll say. Olivia, please let me sleep tonight, please. I can't, the eye bags, But we also have some straight people on council. Despite contrary opinion, Rasa having Chaperones Casual and Lin-Manuel Miranda's entire discography in a Spotify Wrapped does not a homosexual make. And yeah, okay, Owen gets his eyebrows threaded like really well, and not only does James wear a trench coat every day, he is also British. But you gotta get with the times, people. I'm sorry, that does not simply make a man gay anymore. Open your minds. These things can be mutually exclusive. Straight people can be politically correct, absolutely. But that being said, I think we can admit it's pretty gay. It's pretty gay, but that's fine because gay is okay. Better than okay gay is great because the best men I know have gay allegations. It's no coincidence that the men who listen, the men who are unabashedly themselves, who are secure in their masculinity, have all been called a slur or two. That's just the way it is. It's not the way it should be, but it is. Because gay is woke, is enlightened, is open, is free. Free to let the freak flag fly. Bill Maher has been under fire recently for his inflammatory comments about political correctness and the woke left. In a 2019 interview for the New York Times, he had this to say: "I don't like the term woke because it implies I am asleep. I was woke before some of these people were even born. The difference is that liberals protect people and politically correct people protect feelings. They don't do anything." Now that's just wrong, okay? We as woke do a lot, okay? Our lives are actually really, really hard. People think it comes natural to us, but it actually takes a lot of hard work, dedication, and effort to make your oat milk lattes in the morning, okay? It takes effort to be hot and roll cigarettes at the same time. And not only that, it takes a lot of effort to make the blue carpet match the drapes. So please, Bill, don't tell me what I am and am not doing with my time. But I don't take much offense to this. I've been called a lot of things. Gay, lesbian, bitch, cunt, disappointment. I don't know how many of you can relate, but my experience this far has really been a trial by fire. If I had to pinpoint where it all started, it would probably be age 12, I don't know. While my tall friends were having dates in the local ice cream shop with short boys, I sat at home, festering, feverish, coughing. All I wanted was to scratch that damn itch, that rash creeping up my neck. And it was then that I realized I'd been infected by the woke mind virus, and there was no cure. So I accepted my fate, and the first thing I did, of course, was go on Omegle. While most of you may know it as the app for white men speaking Mandarin or perverts, I was using it for a very different purpose: to seek out the finest young conservatives in my country had to offer and obliterate them with my lowercase sentences and my New York Times screenshots. In short, I wanted to spread my disease all over the country like chlamydia in the Hamilton. Sorry, Matilda, I know that's a touchy subject for you, but I couldn't not make the joke. It was too easy. It was there, so I wrote it. Thank you, guys. All right. My prognosis progressed quickly from there. To use Gabe's allegory, in the woke onion that was my private high school with less than 50 people in each year, there existed layers. On the peel, there were the white boys with the Asian fetishes and the jock itch. Around the middle, the likes of volleyball players and mathletes. And in the dead center, the wokest of the woke, there was me and my merry band of gays. Drinking, drugs, parties, play. I didn't know her. What did I know? Well, let me tell you, I knew the Baudrillardian implications of men posing with big fish and the semantics of medical racism, and that was good enough for me, okay? Because despite being straight, I had finally found my people, my community of like-minded individuals with the same passions, the same desire to see the world as I saw it. A twisted, horrible cesspool of misogyny, racism, and homophobia. And they all just so happened to be gay in one way or another. I was the sole exception, the token straight. I thought I could convert the rest of my people one by one to the dark side. Woke did not have to be gay. I was the living proof. And I'm telling you, everyone, I mean everyone, was preying on my downfall. And the guys who'd insist I was gay for my best friend at the school dances, who'd make scissoring jokes when they thought I couldn't hear, and the girls who'd repeat the homophobic jokes to me that they didn't understand. And even my own friends would say, Therese, don't you think you care a little bit too much? And you just look, and the way that you are, I just find it hard to believe you aren't even a little bit gay. At first, it was light prodding, but soon my straight voice was silenced. You are gay, they said. Case closed, not open for discussion. Just because I wore a suit to prom and took my closest friend, who just happened to be a butch lesbian, did not mean that I was gay, okay? God forbid a girl is an ally. A-L-L-Y. Clearly, they'd never heard of it. I'll just listen to my page there. But whatever. I knew what I was, and no one could tell me different. I may have caught the woke mind virus early on, but I would never capitulate to the queer left. I maintained that the two could be mutually exclusive. Of course they could. At least that's what I thought until I came to this here college. My only real exposure to Trinity before was by watching Normal People, a beautiful and poignant but notably straight love story, right? Imagine my shock when I arrived at the steps of the arts block and it was gay as fuck. I mean, I'd never seen that many hair colors in my life. Red, ginger, yellow, green, blue, purple, I saw it all. And one day, shocking no one but myself, I'd realized I'd actually been asleep the entire time. Here, and only here at Trinity, I truly awoke. I realized maybe political correctness is gay after all. Readers, I tasted the rainbow. And fuck me if it wasn't delicious. Thank you.
thank that speaker for their very fine speech. I call on Trinity College Dublin to continue the debate. Hear him.
Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Okay. I don't know if you can notice the finger marks around my neck or the copious amounts of wine I was just drinking there. But 5 minutes before I walked through that door, I realized this was a comedy debate. Is that true? Either way, guys, okay, give me a little bit of lenience here. You might find it funny, I'm not sure. But if I'm a bit serious, you could laugh out of pity, you could do whatever, but just let that be known, okay? Right. Is political correctness gay? Is the sky blue? Do dogs bark? Do I coat myself in honey and pretend I'm a beehive? Do certain council members enjoy the company of younger ladies? Maybe. Yes, sometimes. Oftentimes, maybe, but not always. Just as the sky is wont to take on pink and purple hues, so too have council members been known to appreciate maturity. 1819. Political correctness can be gay, but it is neither primarily so nor rarely so. But also, gayness is performance. Unless I see political correctness giving wokeness the slops, it can't really be called gay. Political correctness has to earn that mantle through action. And actually, to quote Descartes' cousin, Descartes, it's not, I think, therefore I am, it's I swallow, therefore I am. Okay, do only gay people get offended by certain language? Nah, don't think so. I think slurs make a lot of people uncomfortable. Women don't enjoy casual misogyny. Men don't enjoy jokes about hairlines. Are gay people more likely to have developed empathy and act with sensitivity? Probably, and being PC is an empathetic impulse, but denying other groups' empathy is clearly absurd. Are gay people politically correct, all of them? No. Having dipped a tentative toe into the virtueless chasm that is Hinge. Anyone else been there? Anyone else? No? Yeah, okay. Hopefully. No, just me. One person on there. Okay. I can conclusively reject any correlation between the two. It just doesn't exist. There's a lot of people who desperately want to be straight, and they'll do anything, including piggybacking on minorities, to get the validation of straight people fitting into a heteronormative patriarchal paradigm. But also, in our generation, political correctness has been the norm, maybe for the first time. A lot of people, including gay people, consider themselves woke in that they appreciate equality and believe that there's injustice in the world. But many are also politically incorrect because, since political correctness is the norm, their liberal views have never actually had to develop against opposition. So they don't actually know what they stand for. And being in this fraught position, they risk using language and doing things that cause offense to others. So it comes down to really like a holistic political education, not an identity. But that's all a little bit boring, and if you're looking to be convinced more, here's another compelling argument. I think we can reject the emotion by examining its wording. How are we using gay here? Do we mean the funny insults or the demonic way of living? Does it matter which? Think about it though, this motion is tongue-in-cheek, right? You must have figured out we're not debating like the sexuality of this abstract noun, it's more than that. We have a vague sense that it's funny to lump things into gay camp, but why? If I didn't have to consider this motion for a while and I just came to watch the debate, I would have expected this to be some woke slop out, and I actually realized it was meant to be that. But with all the usual buzzwords, self-degrading jokes, but like, why should gay give us that impression? Because the motion is self-refuting. Its existence contradicts its premises, just like the sentence, "There is no truth." I'm going to prove that the Phil is gay. I'm going to say why the motion is not PC, and then I'm going to mash these two together and form a deductive argument. The last part is what I would say if I were a hist debater. I've been slowly getting into hist LARPing. It's really fun, but I'm only going to microdose for you guys so that no one falls asleep. When I tell you that the Phil is gay, you'll have to trust my good judgment. I know what gay looks like. It's Aidan Ross, Sneeko, and Clavicular listening to Nazi music and talking about orthognathic jaw surgery and positive canthal tilt. Equally gay includes men who go to church, okay, submission, girls who make out with each other, you're not just best friends, and anyone who goes to watch a debate on a Thursday night, you're trying to keep the voices out. It's like... I'm also suspicious of most people's dads, most people's dogs, most of my lecturers, and some other inanimate objects. Okay, hands up if you're like pretty gay, like a lot gay. Oh, no one. Okay, that's rude. Hands up if you're a little gay. Okay, not really. Okay, this one's for the ladies. Hands up if you're a fujoshi. Who's goon to heated rivalry? No one? No one? Oh, okay, right. Okay. I need a little bit more of you to raise your hand so I can like prove my point. Who's like spiritually gay? Are we fucking for real? It's the fucking Phil. Oh my god. Okay, fucking straights came to watch the gay debate. What did you come here for? Literally, it's like, look, the gay people make fun of themselves. It's like, fucking hell. Right, so that was a majority. We'll pretend that's a majority. The Phil is gay. I need it for my argument. Sorry, it's gay. Okay, moving on. Political correctness, right? Use of language or actions to avoid causing offense or marginalizing certain groups, okay? Sound like a bad thing to you? Does it sound exclusively gay? No, okay. So the motion isn't PC then, right? In its efforts to be a sensationalist, crowd-pleasing spectacle for the first debate back, it might be inadvertently making a mockery of a community. We can choose to be offended by the flippancy with which gay is flung around, despite the multitude of meanings that the word carries. Culture is qualified by ritual, experience, attitude, behavior. Gayness is a complex, multifaceted conditioning of being. Like ethnicity, it's both a genealogical fact and an identity that strongly shapes the way a person interacts with the world. It's not a punchy tagline or a word to arbitrarily insert into emotion, and you can't compress an intricate identity into a glib label for an abstract concept. It's a sensitive topic to treat with irreverence, considering that queer people are one of the most consistently mocked groups online, from fruitcake to zesty to twink to bottom to English or Spanish. I didn't know that one. 2-3 years in Dagestan, saying that right? Yeah. And then downright calling misogynistic men gay. I looked on Wikipedia. Historical insults range from baddie boy, brownie king, fudge packer, donut puncher, cockstruction worker, bean flicker, rug muncher, kitty puncher, muff diver. Like they're all weirdly fixated on feces stained orifices and like bushes, which I think is just like disgusting. But I worry that in our careless use of words like gay and woke that we entirely strip away their meanings and leave in their places a hollow resonance. I heard someone say they had a gay sandwich the other day and it was just like mayo. It was like mayo and ham. Like, what the fuck do you mean? I've also heard a shop with female employees being called woke. Like, it's just fucking women working. Like, it's like, you fucking break. But there's no malice intended. But I think we're at risk of words losing their ability to actually express things. They'll become a victim to TikTok word spamming. They'll have the same fate as low-key, or as it's now known as low-kirk ontologic genuinely, if I'm correct. If we're truly politically correct, we will want to keep certain words intact so that we can communicate sentiments that are quite vital. If we don't have a word for something, we cannot think about it. And if we spam a word into slop, the concept it transmits dies with it. We know that there's nothing uniquely or exclusively gay about political correctness. But if you need more proof, it is that this motion was made by this very gay society, and the staging of this debate is a politically incorrect act that trivializes a complex identity for sensationalism, proving thereby that gay and PC are not equivalent. But I'll just put it simply. Me think this: Phil gay, motion not PC, gay not PC, PC not gay, vote side opposition. Thank you.
Thanks, Speaker, for that very fine speech, and call on Anthony to finish the debate for side opposition. Here, here.
Okay. Yo, guys. Great to be back here. As my girlfriend will tell you, I never finish last, so it's good to be here for once. New year, new me. Being a non-white person in white spaces, it helps you see things that most people wouldn't see. And one thing that I see is that white people tend to look like bears. Not like build-wise, but just face. I don't even know exactly what it is, but a lot of you guys look like bears to me. I mean, turn to your nearest white person, please. Thank you. Do they look like a bear? Yes. Yes, they do. You all look like bears for some reason. One thing I found out recently, however, is that calling someone a bear, especially a man, has other implications. And I know I'm not like the gatekeeper of like gay slang, but like bear feels weird to me. Our lovely SMC Ross had turned to me and said, yes, I am 2 people removed from the bear of Ireland, you know. I wondered to myself whether Ireland had bears. I thought St. Patrick got rid of those guys. If we did we have enough to rank them? If we did rank them, what did we rank them based off of? I wondered about bears being creative, you know, gracefully looking at sunsets, getting their friends to take pictures of them crossing the road in their new trench coat to post on Instagram. I thought about them being ranked based off of this perceived pondering, or their physique, or their fur. It all sounded very strange, and I was confused. Owen, our lovely librarian, replied something something gay bear of Ireland something something. I don't know much about this stuff, but I don't think we can say that anymore. Some may say that is politically incorrect. I mean, like, Gabe, you're just such a big gay bear. I shouldn't be able to say that, guys. But politically correct, odd thing to think about, you know, like odd phrasing, like being right about politics is something to not aspire to. Cool. I came across this article and it was titled, "Is Political Correctness What's Really Destroying America?" Guys, Trump was not only in the Epstein files, he was the Epstein files. He was giving head in the Epstein files. America was built off of a sense of nationalistic pride, which was simply an exaggerated version of the oppressive systems which Britain had created, paired with an unquenchable desire to suck up all the oil in the world. But guys, I was thinking the other day, like, you don't just go and take like another country's president for nothing. Like, Maduro was wearing a tech fleece, like the guy was a yup, bro. He was out there riding his little electric scooter, catcalling women. And you know how the old saying goes, if the whole system is against them, it's probably their fault. One must wonder, what did they do to even make the British that mad? Now guys, new story. I went to private school. This is important to the story. I'm not just, you know, But when I was in first year, I had beef with these guys who were in third year. Actually, it was me and all my friends who had beef with these guys. Usually, I think first years are very scared of older years. They're usually a lot bigger, a lot more confident in themselves, all that jazz. But all my friends were actually from really rough areas of Dublin. And me being from Finglas, you simply can't be scary to me if you're from Sandyford. Like if you threaten me, but it sounds like, here, you didn't even go to Blackrock, lads. I'm not gonna be scared. And this was the case. We laughed at them when they would try stuff with us, and this really came to a head in a dark, sweaty changing room one day. It was steamy, some may say heated rivalry. My friend was going back and forth with one of our favorite ops, and it was getting heated. It got so heated that me and my other friends were now standing behind our friend, close, we could feel him. And our other op was standing on the other side, and he meant to shout, "I'ma beat your ass," at my friend. However, he stumbled over his words. And what came out of his mouth was, "I'ma eat your ass!" My friends and I were perplexed, to be honest. This is honestly the gayest thing I'd ever heard. He threatened to eat my boy out. He was showing us why he was our favorite op. #RealEater. Anyway, one of my friends, as 12-year-olds do, at that very moment shouts, "Nah, he's gay." And at that very moment, our gay yearhead walked in and witnessed us pissing our pants at this joke. I mean, like, we had to digest that threat thrown our way, like, for real, like, are we gonna take it? Like, we had an emergency class meeting where we discussed homophobia and how using gay to mean bad is low-key not right. And we didn't disagree. Like, we were looking around, really taking this in. But my friend who had been offered this sexual experience raised his hand. And he asked my teacher, he actually asked my teacher this, is it gay to eat another man's ass? Because that is what he said he was gonna do to me. This response angered my head teacher. It was, I think it was confusing for him, and I don't blame him. It was a confusing time for all of us. It was so gay, but he wanted to be politically correct. He didn't want to say, yeah, that's gay as hell. But deep down in his soul, he really did. To be politically correct was to reject being his true self, which was a gay man. It was to reject the true nature of the statement, which was gay. To reject the gay nature of many statements is to be politically correct. I think this is poetic. There's no point to the speech. So what is the conclusion? Well, I asked myself this when I was younger, probably came to a real conclusion around 17. I had just read C.S. Lewis for the first time, and I kind of realized like the religion thing like wasn't real. And the conclusion is that you just die. The conclusion of the speech, vote opposition. Thank you.
thanks to the excellent speaker for their very fine speech, and we'll welcome all of our speakers for an excellent debate here. In a moment, I'm going to ask the House to take a vote. So I will call for all those in favour to say aye, and all those against the motion to say nay. Just before that, I'd like to remind you all that we'll have GM Bar immediately after that. After this, we'll be upstairs in the recreation room. We hope to see as many of you as possible there. With that said, all those in favour of the motion say aye. Aye! All those against the motion say nay. Nay! The nays have it.